Did you know that Vladimir Putin, the formidable president of Russia, once worked as a cab driver in Leningrad? Quite the surprising fact, isn't it? Born in the heart of Leningrad, now known as Saint Petersburg, Putin's early life was far from luxurious. His mother was a factory worker, his father a Navy conscript. His upbringing, humble and grounded, shaped the man who would later become one of the world's most influential leaders. Working diligently, Putin put himself through university. He juggled his studies with numerous jobs, one of which was driving a taxi through the bustling streets of Leningrad. This period of his life was a testament to his tenacity, resilience, and unyielding ambition. It was a time of learning, growing, and laying the groundwork for his future political career. From driving a cab to driving an entire nation, Putin's journey is a testament to his tenacity. The stage was set for a remarkable transformation, from humble beginnings to the very pinnacle of power. The year 1975 marked a pivotal turn in Putin's life as he began his career in the KGB. As a young recruit, Putin quickly found his niche in the world of counterintelligence. His keen mind and analytical skills proved invaluable in this high-stakes game of information and deception. Putin's work in counterintelligence wasn't about flashy operations, but rather, it was about meticulous attention to detail, strategic planning, and a deep understanding of the human psyche. In the early years of his KGB career, Putin was stationed in Leningrad, now known as Saint Petersburg. Here, his work was primarily focused on surveillance and covert operations against foreign diplomats and visitors. His role was to identify potential threats and gather intelligence, a job that required a blend of patience, intuition, and a knack for understanding human behavior. In the mid-80s, Putin was posted to Dresden, East Germany. It was a time of great tension between the East and the West, and Putin found himself at the heart of the Cold War. His mission was to infiltrate Western governments and institutions, gather valuable intelligence, and counteract Western influence. While in East Germany, Putin witnessed the fall of the Berlin Wall, an event that had a profound impact on him. He saw firsthand the collapse of the Soviet Union's influence in Eastern Europe, an experience that would later shape his political ideology and his vision for Russia. The 16 years that Putin spent in the KGB were formative. They were years of learning, growth, and understanding the intricate dynamics of global politics. In the KGB, Putin learned the art of strategy, the importance of information, and the power of diplomacy. He learned to think several steps ahead, to anticipate the moves of his adversaries, and to respond swiftly and decisively. The KGB years were not just about honing skills and gathering intelligence. They were about developing a worldview, understanding the complexities of international relations, and gaining a deep appreciation for the power of information. Putin's years in the KGB not only shaped his worldview, but also honed his skills in strategy and diplomacy. It was a time that would lay the foundation for his rise to the highest office in Russia. The fall of the Soviet Union in 1991 was a disaster for many, but for Putin, it was an opportunity. The tumultuous period that followed the collapse of the Soviet Union was characterized by economic instability and political uncertainty. Yet, amidst this chaos, a figure emerged who would come to shape the future of Russia: Vladimir Putin. In the early 90s, Putin began his political career as the mayor of Saint Petersburg, Russia's second-largest city. Here, he proved to be a shrewd and capable leader. Despite the economic challenges that the city faced, Putin managed to foster a climate of growth and development. He implemented policies that attracted foreign investment and encouraged local businesses, helping to restore the city to its former glory. While serving as mayor, Putin gained the attention of Russia's then-president, Boris Yeltsin. Impressed by Putin's leadership and political savvy, Yeltsin appointed him as prime minister in 1999. This was a critical turning point in Putin's career, propelling him onto the national stage. As prime minister, Putin's political prowess came to the fore. He showed a knack for navigating the complex world of Russian politics, managing to keep a firm grip on power while maintaining popular support. His handling of the Chechen crisis in particular won him widespread acclaim, solidifying his position as a strong and decisive leader. But Putin's rise didn't stop there. When Yeltsin unexpectedly resigned on the last day of the 20th century, Putin was named acting president, a position he would officially secure in the subsequent election. This marked the beginning of a new era in Russian politics, one that would be dominated by Putin's leadership. Putin's quick rise to power demonstrates his political acumen and ability to seize opportunities. From the Mayor of Saint Petersburg to the Prime Minister, and then President of Russia, Putin's journey to the top was marked by determination, strategic decision-making, and an uncanny ability to turn crises into opportunities. His ascent to power is a testament to his political skill and the mastery of the art of survival in the turbulent world of Russian politics. On the last day of 1999, Boris Yeltsin resigned and Putin became the acting president of Russia. In the blink of an eye, an era had ended and a new one had begun. Vladimir Putin, once a mere lieutenant colonel in the KGB, was now at the helm of the world's largest country. His presidency, still ongoing, has been a period of significant change for Russia, marked by a mix of economic stability, political consolidation, and international controversy. The early days of Putin's presidency were marked by the continuation of the Second Chechen War. It was a brutal conflict, one that Putin managed with a firm hand. His decisive actions, although heavily criticized for their humanitarian impact, eventually led to the end of the war and the establishment of a pro-Russian government in Chechnya. Alongside military actions, Putin also initiated a series of economic reforms aimed at stabilizing Russia's turbulent economy. His administration focused on improving tax collection, increasing domestic production, and reducing the influence of oligarchs in the Russian economy. These measures, coupled with a boom in global oil prices, led to a period of economic growth. The Russian economy, once on the brink of collapse, was now growing at a pace unseen since the end of the Soviet Union. But Putin's presidency was not just about domestic affairs. He also oversaw a significant shift in Russia's foreign policy. Putin sought to reassert Russia's position on the global stage, often clashing with Western nations in the process. This new assertiveness was evident in a variety of international incidents, from the annexation of Crimea to Russia's involvement in the Syrian civil war. While these actions drew criticism from the international community, they echoed with a significant portion of the Russian population. Putin's popularity soared, and he was re-elected multiple times despite allegations of electoral irregularities. But every coin has two sides. Putin's presidency has also been marked by an increasing concentration of power and a crackdown on political dissent. Critics argue that under Putin, Russia has become increasingly authoritarian, with freedoms of speech and assembly curtailed, and opposition figures frequently targeted. Despite these controversies, Putin's influence on Russia is undeniable. Under his leadership, Russia has regained some of its lost geopolitical influence and has experienced periods of economic growth. However, these achievements have come at a cost. The question of political freedom, human rights, and the rule of law remains a contentious issue. As we look back on Putin's presidential era, it's clear that his leadership has been a defining period for Russia. His decisions, for better or worse, have shaped the country's trajectory in the 21st century. Putin's presidency has been marked by a mix of economic stability, political consolidation, and international controversy. As Putin continues his fourth term in office, his influence on Russia and the world is undeniable. The Putin era, marked by an assertive foreign policy and a concentration of power, has undeniably shifted Russia's global standing. Putin's leadership saw Russia reasserting itself on the world stage, challenging the West's influence in regions like the Middle East and Eastern Europe. Under his watch, Russia has become a formidable player, often viewed as a counterweight to Western powers. Within the country, Putin's popularity presents an intriguing paradox. Despite international criticism, Putin enjoys significant approval ratings at home. His image as a strong leader, who restored national pride and stability following the chaotic post-Soviet years, resonates with many Russians. Yet, it's important to note that this popularity is not without its critics. Dissenting voices have raised concerns over issues like corruption, political repression, and economic inequality. The question many are asking now is, what does the future hold for Putin and Russia? Speculations abound. Some see Putin maintaining his grip on power, either through constitutional changes or by influencing his successor. Others predict a Russia without Putin, anticipating a potential power struggle or a shift in political direction. Yet one thing is clear: Putin's influence on Russia is deep and far-reaching. His leadership has shaped the country's political landscape and its position on the global stage. His policies, both domestic and foreign, have left an indelible mark. And his approach to governance, marked by an emphasis on stability and control, has redefined Russia's post-Soviet identity. Whether loved or loathed, Putin's legacy is one that will continue to shape Russia and the world for years to come. From the streets of Moscow to the halls of the Kremlin, from the conflict zones of Syria to the political arenas of the West, the impact of Vladimir Putin's leadership is felt. His story, his strategies, his successes, and his shortcomings, they all contribute to a legacy that is as complex as it is consequential.